So, this is actually how you learn the language. Uh, you know, Poetry, prose, and every single thing, and especially for Islam, for the Quran, the Sunnah, we need to learn the language which was contemporary to the Quran and the Prophet ﷺ. So the Imam Hamasa is that collection. It is a collection where the poetry actually is either from Jahiliyyah or from Islam or from that period which can be used for the istishhad, means to make the argument. So anything that you read in Hamasa, it will help you to understand the meaning in the Quran and the meaning in the Hadith. What happens is if people don't read these things, if you don't read Hamasa, don't read Mu'allaqat, don't read those early poetry, and when you read anything in the Quran Sunnah, your mind goes to what you know in modern time, to what Arab use. If in Arabic language something is used, you think there must be meaning in the Quran and in the Hadith, because that meaning you familiar. So that is very important to go back to these sources. When people don't learn the language this way, and they learn directly from the Quran, they don't have confidence, because basically you just tell them this verse means this, but they don't know really where the meaning coming from. Now when you read this poetry, it will help you, and also by memorizing this, it will be easier for you to connect. And also when you write, you can use those sentences. I just give some examples from what we learned last week. It will help you how we can use the poetry for the Quran. So for example, when you say وَفِتْيَانِ صِدْقٍ, so now you know really fityan. What fityan means? Fityan has been used in the Quran as well. And you know that the Quran has used the word fityan and also fityatun. Both have been used as jam'a fata. So you know why Quran used fityan, why fityatun sometimes, difference both of them. Then the Quran says fityan sidqin, the men, young men of the truth. Truth in the language usually means speaking the truth. But in the Quran, when the truth has been used more than that. So like in this poetic verse, when the poet said, وَفِتْيَانِ الصِّدْقِ, the young men of the truth, meaning not that they speak the truth, meaning is more than that. They speak the truth and they act like true people, meaning is in action and in the speech, in both they are true. Their actions are, firm and proper. So that how Quran uses also sidq. When Quran says, "Ulaika inna Allah ma'as sadiqin," kunu ma'as sadiqin. To be with the sadiqin. So sadiq does not mean the people who speak the truth only. Sadiq also means the people whose actions are true. Means when they believe, then they act according to that. So sidq in Quran has been used not only to speak the truth, but also to do the truth, to practice the truth. And when Quran says siddiq, it's more than that. Mubalagha, meaning is their action, their speaking, and their thinking all true. So there are Siddiq is used in the Quran for the prophets who are thinkers, like Ibrahim. Ibrahim alayhi salam, about him, Quran said, Kana Siddiqan Nabiyya. So what means it? So you see, the word Siddiq does not mean that Ibrahim was true. Everybody is true. But Ibrahim Siddiq means he thinks truly, or when he thinks, then he do like that and he speak that. So he thinks, then he act upon that, and then he says it. So this is Sadiq, means in the mind, in the heart, in the tongue, in the action, in all these things they are true. So this truth is very, very important. Really. Some people could be true in thinking, but when it comes to practical life, they are not true. Some people could be true when they speak, but when they have to do, they are not true. They are not Sadiq, they are not Sadiq. So you can see, when you read this poetry, it can help you to understand Sidq in Arabic language is more than what people think. Like generally in the language, when you say kadaba is to tell lie. When you say sadaqa, it means to say the truth. But in Arabic language, both these words, they are more than that. Kadaba is not only to say the lie, also to do the lie. So sometimes they use kadaba for the person who is maybe true, but when he does things, he's not true, he's false in action. Hypocrisy, for example, that's also kadib. Similarly, you see, وَفِتْيَانِ صِدْقٍ لَسْتُ مُطْلِعًا. To مُطْلِعًا, أطلع is Quran has used this, you learn from here as well. بَعْدِهِمْ عَلَى سِرِّ بَعْضٍ. So you can say بعض has come in the Quran, and Quran is used in the same way. Like in modern Arabic language, you see many people use the word بعض, but they say al-بعض. They put alif lam, al-kul. Quran did not use that, because it can't to early Arab people. These are the words, they don't, alif lam does not mean anything for them, because ba'd means some. To alif lam, it's still some. It's ambiguous to what is alif lam. But some Arab people in our time, they don't know this thing. They will put al-ba'd. قال البعض. So قال البعض means what? Tell me. If you say al-ba'd, it will have different meaning. Same al-kul will have a different meaning when you say alif lam. to ala sirri ba'd. He did not say ala sirri ba'd, though he mean his friends. He meet different people. Still he said ba'din, غير النيجن, غير how Quran used. And then after that, coming, لكل امرئ شعب, to شعب, has been used. Quran used also شعب. شعب من القلب فارغ. Quran used فارغ. Like the story of Musa's mother, وأصبح فؤاد موسى فارغة. Do you know what فارغ means? Many people in Arab time now, they use فارغ in the meaning it like somebody doing nothing, like something like that. But فارغ, in Arabic language, more than that. فارغ means when something occupied, there's something happening. It basically worrying you, concerning you. But when something not content, nothing happening. So farig actually not only means empty, it also means content, satisfied. It entails that. To asbaha fuad Musa fariga, the heart of the mother of Musa became farig, meaning it farig from the empty, from the worry, from the concern. So now she is more content. To لكل امرئ شعب من القلب فارغ. To وموضع النجوى لا يرى مطلع. Then najwa, Quran uses najwa, in more than once. That and Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also said that people should not do najwa. So you learn the najwa, and najwa has been more than one meaning. You can see here. Similarly, after يضلون شتى في البلاد, shatta has been used in the Quran, or bilad has been used, وسرهم, sir has been used, إلى صخرة أعيا has been used, and صداعها, and صداعها. So just think that when you read this poetry, what happens after that? When you come to the Quran, then you connect. But if you have come to the Quran before this poetry, you have connected the words of the Quran with something that you know. And that's why when you read this poetry, you don't connect. So like Urdu people, when they read the Quran, they always impose meaning. Because many words in the Quran, they are similar to the words in Urdu. So they think this must be meaning. Now, if they read all this poetry, they don't connect. Because they already have connected Quran with something else. And that is danger. That's why we want people to learn language properly, then come to the Quran, then you can have the right meaning. Otherwise, to unlearn and to remove those misunderstandings is taking long time. And sometimes, people just assume some certain meaning in light of what they know. So, just, I want to explain to you that is very, very important, for not only Quran, for any text, that people before reading the text, they should be familiar with the language around that text, contemporary to that text. It will help them to understand it much better way. So in Arabic language, books like Hamasa, they are very, very useful. And if you know, people who in tafsir, all the time they make effort to find the right meaning, one of the major sources for them to find the right meaning is the Hamasa. Like people, Mawla Farahi is one of the main source when he said this word means this, not that meaning. Very often he depends on the Hamas. Other portrayal, but Hamasa is one of the major source for these people. It's a very important work. So certainly we are not going to finish or complete this Hamasa in this term, but at least you become familiar. You buy the book and you read on your own, so because it has a commentary as well. So it will be easier for you to understand. So this is a reason that we want people to learn these classical words. Okay, now we're coming to the next poem, and then you have to memorize again. So next one is, if you read, yeah.